Motivation is like this match. It's bright, it's intense, and it generates immediate heat, but it's also designed to flicker out the moment the wind changes. If you're waiting for a spark of inspiration to start your investment portfolio or fix your debt, you've already lost. Building wealth isn't a passionate sprint. It is a cold, calculated, and often boring marathon. Most people are addicted to the feeling of being rich, but they lack the stomach for the monotony of getting there. Today, I'm going to show you why your big dreams are actually holding you back from real profit. Welcome back. I'm Claire West. For those who are new here, I'm a profit advisor and financial strategist. While most people in my field spend their time buried in spreadsheets, I've spent the last decade studying the bridge between human behavior and the bottom line. I've navigated the boardrooms of the elite and the balance sheets of the broken. My mission is simple: to share the raw, unvarnished truths, the failures I've endured and the breakthroughs I've engineered, so you can stop chasing tips and start building an empire. This isn't just about money, it's about the architecture of your life. Let's talk about a narrative we've all been sold. The visionary entrepreneur who wakes up at 4 a.m. fueled by pure passion and builds a billion-dollar company by sheer will. It makes for a great movie, but it's a terrible financial strategy. Early in my career, I had a client named Julian. Julian was a motivation junkie. He attended every seminar, read every self-help book, and would come to my office every 3 months with a revolutionary new idea. He was high on the dopamine of a fresh start. But 6 months later, the enthusiasm would fade, the automated savings would be paused to fund a new lifestyle, and Julian would be back at square one. Julian was waiting for a feeling to dictate his finances. Motivation is a biological spike in dopamine. It feels incredible, but dopamine is chemically unstable. It is not meant to last. When you rely on motivation to build wealth, you're essentially trying to build a skyscraper on a foundation of quicksand. Discipline, on the other hand, is the ability to execute when the feeling has left the room. It is the boring habit of investing that $1,000 every single month, regardless if the market is up, down, or if you feel like buying a new watch. This is the insight most people won't tell you. Wealth is boring. In my 30s, I finally understood this. I used to think that being a profit advisor meant making high-stakes, adrenaline-pumping trades. I wanted the thrill, but the most successful clients I've ever managed, the ones with 8- and 9-figure net worths, are the most boring people you'll ever meet when it comes to their money. They don't check their portfolios every hour. They don't jump on every hot trend. They have a system. They have discipline. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. While the motivated person is searching for the next big thing, the disciplined person is exploiting the current boring thing. I had to learn to fall in love with the process, not the result. I stopped looking for fire and started looking for frictionless systems. If your financial success depends on you making a good choice every day, you will eventually fail. You have a finite amount of willpower. Discipline means making the choice once and then letting the system run. One of my biggest failures happened because I tried to out-hustle a bad market. I was motivated. I was working 18-hour days. I thought that if I just applied more pressure, the money would follow. I was wrong. Motivation without discipline is just busy work. When you are motivated but lack discipline, you end up in a cycle of emotional debt. You set high expectations, you fail to meet them because you didn't have a system, and then you feel guilt. That guilt leads to revenge spending or financial paralysis. I've seen this happen to high-level executives. They have a great month and get motivated to change their lives. They buy a gym membership, hire a personal chef, and open a new brokerage account all in 1 week. By week 3, the motivation is gone, the chef is fired, and they are back to ordering takeout and ignoring their bank account. The breakthrough is realizing that discipline is the highest form of self-love. It isn't about punishment, it's about protecting your future self from the whims of your current emotions. So, how do we move from the match light of motivation to the engine of discipline? It requires 3 specific pillars that I use with every one of my high-profile clients. Pillar 1. Environmental design. Don't rely on your brain to be disciplined. Your brain is a traitor. If you have the motivation to save, use that short-lived energy to set up an automated transfer that you cannot easily cancel. If you have the motivation to stop spending, delete the shopping apps from your phone. Discipline is often just a well-designed environment where the bad choice is difficult and the good choice is automatic. Pillar 2, the Law of Diminishing Intent. The longer you wait to do something you know you should do, the less likely you are to do it. When you feel a spark of motivation, don't use it to plan, use it to commit. Sign the contract, send the wire, lock yourself in. Pillar 3, Tactical Boredom. I tell my clients to find a way to make their wealth building invisible. If you don't see the money in your checking account, you don't have to use discipline not to spend it. Wealth should be built in the background while you focus on your life, your family, and your craft. This is the secret sauce that the get-rich-quick gurus won't share. Building wealth requires an identity shift. Most people say, I want to get rich. That's a goal driven by motivation. The disciplined person says, I'm a person who manages capital efficiently. When I was struggling with my own financial breakthroughs, I realized I was still thinking as an employee who was lucky to have money. I had to shift my identity to a steward of wealth. A steward doesn't need to be motivated to check the fences, they just do it because that's who they are. I once worked with a young woman who was deep in credit card debt. She was constantly motivated to pay it off, but never did. We stopped talking about the debt and started talking about her identity as an investor. We had her buy one single share of an S&P 500 ETF. Suddenly, she wasn't a debtor anymore, she was an investor. That identity shift created the discipline she needed to clear the debt because investors don't carry 24% interest debt. What happens when the motivation is gone, the market is crashing, and you feel like giving up? This is where the business advisor in me gets real with you. I've had days where I didn't want to look at my screen. I've had seasons where my business felt like it was plateauing. In those low moments, motivation is your enemy because it reminds you of how excited you should feel, which only makes the depression worse. Discipline is your safety net. In those low moments, I don't ask myself, what do I feel like doing? I ask, what is on the schedule? Wealth is built in the valleys, not the peaks. Anyone can invest when the market is at an all-time high and everyone is cheering. It takes discipline to stay the course when the news is screaming and your friends are selling. Discipline is the ability to ignore the noise and trust the signal. If you're waiting for the perfect time or the perfect feeling to start, you are choosing a life of mediocrity. The perfect time is a ghost. I've looked at thousands of success stories, and the common thread isn't brilliance, luck, or even high starting capital. It is the aggregation of marginal gains. It is the 1% improvement repeated 1,000 times. Motivation gives you the energy for the 1%. Discipline carries you through the other 99. Stop searching for inspiration. Start searching for automation. Stop asking for tips and start building systems. Motivation got you to click on this video. I hope discipline is what keeps you here until the end. Building wealth isn't about the one big win. It's about the 1,000 small nothings that you do every day. It's about being the person who shows up when everyone else has gone home. If you're ready to stop chasing the high of motivation and start building the foundation of discipline, then you belong in this community. Hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. I don't post get-rich-quick fluff. I post the blueprints for sustainable, generational wealth. Comment below, what is one financial habit you've been meaning to start but have been waiting for the motivation to begin? Tell me, and then tell me how you're going to automate it today. I'll be in the comments helping you build those systems. I'm Claire West, and remember, don't wait to feel like a millionaire. Act with the discipline of one, and the feelings and the money will follow. I'll see you in the next video.